Hello and welcome back to Read Becca. So I'm sort of participating in Sci-Fi September and Space Opera September, mainly just in spirit in that I'm going to read primarily sci-fi and space opera. And so I wanted to do a fun project for this because I have so much to choose from that I needed to whittle it down. So I'm going to let my pets select. I'm not going to run through the details here because this is going to probably take a while to get the pets to cooperate. So I will link everything down below for both Sci-Fi and Space Opera September from the hosts. So Gumbo is going to sit this one out because I don't pick her up and she's not too into treats. So we will let her be, and we're going to let my other pets select my books from a few different categories that I have laid out. So let's get into selecting the books. First up, we have post-apocalyptic fiction. Okay, and Ripley is going to be selecting. Ripley, what do you smell? And that seems like a pretty decisive decision for a boy and his dog at the end of the world. Next, we have near future dystopias. All right, we've got Rue. And Rue went straight for Waist Tide. Next, we have alt history. And I think both of these may have fantastical elements, but alt history is typically most associated with sci-fi, so I'm going to count it. All right. Let's go. And I think he has selected Bitter Seeds. And finally, we have actual space. Okay, Cinnamon, what are you going to pick? Oh, that's a good one. You picked the Dark Forest. Good job. Do you think you're in trouble? He's not used to being welcomed in here to eat things. Good job, Cinnamon. Very helpful. All right, so that's my TBR. Let's recap what the pets chose for me. So first off, in post-apocalyptic fiction, Ripley chose A Boy and His Dog at the End of the World by C.A. Fletcher. And let's see what this is about. My name's Grizz. My childhood wasn't like yours. I've never had friends, and in my whole life, I've not met enough people to play a game of football. My parents told me how crowded the world used to be, before all the people went away. But we were never lonely on our remote island. We had each other and our dogs. Then the thief came, and there may be no law left except what you make of it. But if you steal my dog, you can at least expect me to come after you. Because if we're not loyal to the things we love, what's the point? So that should be a good one. And then we have Waist Tide by Chen Kuifan and translated by Ken Liu. And this one is a near future dystopia. Mamie is drowning in the world's trash. She's a waste worker on Silicon Isle, where electronics from cell phones and laptops to bolts and bionic limbs are sent to be recycled. These amass in towering heaps, polluting every spare inch of land. On this island off the coast of China, the fruits of capitalism and consumer culture come to a toxic end. Mimi and thousands of migrant waste workers like her are lured to Silicon Isle with the promise of steady work and a better life. They're the lifeblood of the island's economy, but are at the mercy of those in power. A storm is brewing between ruthless local gangs warring for control. Eco-terrorists are set on toppling the status quo. American investors hungry for profit. And a Chinese-American interpreter searching for his roots. As these forces collide, a war erupts between the rich and the poor, between tradition and modern ambition, between humanity's past and its future. Mamie and others like her must decide if they will remain pawns in this war or change the rules of the game forever. That one should be good. And then we had Coco's pick, Bitter Seeds by Ian Tregillis. And let's see what this one is about. It's 1939. The Nazis have supermen, the British have demons, and one perfectly normal man is caught in between. British secret agent Raybould Marsh is haunted by something strange he saw on a mission during the Spanish Civil War. A German woman with wires going into her head who looked at him as if she knew him. When the Nazis start running missions with people who have unnatural abilities, a woman who can turn invisible, a man who can walk through walls, and the woman Marsh saw in Spain who can use her knowledge of the future to twist the present, Marsh is the man who has to face them. He rallies the secret warlocks of Britain to hold the impending invasion at bay. But magic always exacts a price. Eventually, the sacrifice necessary to defeat the enemy will be as terrible as outright loss would be. Sounds really interesting. So finally, we have Cinnamon's pick, and this is going to be The Dark Forest by Cixin Liu and translated by Joel Martinson. And I'm not going to read the back of this because it's a sequel and I do not want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't read the first one. But needless to say, this takes place starting in historical China, and it very much follows a lot of scientists, so pretty scientifically focused, and involves first contact. So that takes place all in the first novel, and there is this game, the three-body problem, that is very integral to this series, and so I'm very curious to see where that takes us with this, what we've learned with the game and the first contact. So very excited for this one. So that's my TBR. Thank you so much for watching.